Welcome friends, my name is Dan and today we'll talk about the filter method. We will learn what is it for and how can you use it properly. And if you stay till the end, I'm going to show you how can you build a custom version of it so you can understand what's going on under the hood. But first of all, if you haven't subscribed yet, please click the subscribe button and give me a like. Let's go! In order to work with the filter method, I have here ready a Pokédex. This Pokédex is nothing else than an array with a bunch of elements. Each element is an object that represents a Pokémon and it contains several properties. Those properties are number, name and type. And as you have imagined, the filter method allows us to grab an array and return a subset of it. So what we want to do is to return a new array, obtain a new array with only a few Pokémons that match the criteria we are trying to filter. In order to do so, what we need to do is to start typing the name of the array, Pokédex.filter, and the way filter works is it iterates over every single element in this array and executes again each Pokémon a predicate function. A predicate function is nothing else than a function that returns true or false. If we return true, if this function returns true, we will filter in that element, and if we return false, it will filter out the Pokémon. So I'm going to start writing something very simple, which is Pokémon, the function, and always return true. And because we are always returning true, we are returning the whole array again. Keep in mind that this is a new array, so this array is not the same as this one. As you can see here, we are returning everything. And if, for example, we end up in a scenario where the criteria doesn't match, or in a most simplistic version, we return always false, we will end up having an empty array. But if we want to do something a bit more interesting, for example, we want to return all the Pokémons that belong to the type grass poison, we could do something like this. We could say Pokemon.type equal grass poison. And as you can see, we retrieve only two of them, the only two of them that are of type grass poison. If, for example, we want to return all the Pokémons that belongs to the type fire, I can do this and it will return only one, which is the Charmander. Please ignore the Charizard one because actually this is just a string that says fire flying. So if I want to return a Pokemon with this type, I should apply this. And okay, this is fantastic, but coming back to what we had before, the type fire, let's imagine we want to do something a bit more clever and we want to not return the Pokemon that has the type fire, but actually give me all the Pokemons that don't have the type fire. So basically we want to invert the filter and we want to filter in what we were filtering out and vice versa. If we want to do this, the only thing we need to do is say, give me all the Pokemon types that are not of type fire. And if you can see here, we would go through the first element, grass poison. Grass poison is different than fire, yes, so we return it. The same one for the second. Each type fire different than fire, no, it's actually the same, therefore we return false and we return these methods. And as I've said before, if we try to make a criteria that returns false always, for example water, we don't have any Pokemon of type water, basically we would return an empty array, right? So we don't have anything here. And this is nice, and I'm sure you already seen a lot of potential and places where you can use it, because the filter method is a very simple one, but actually you will find yourself using it a lot. So you may wonder, okay, that's nice, but how does it work? So in order to answer that, we're going to create our own filter method. I'm going to start by doing const custom filter. And we will create a function that accepts two parameters. The first one is going to be array, the array we want to filter, and then the predicate. As we have said before, what I want to do is to go through each element of the array, and in order to do so, I'm going to create a for loop. I'm going to add a condition to continue running the loop that will be as long as the index of the array is smaller than the length of the array, and in every iteration I want to increase the index by 1. So here what we want to do is, if the predicate applied against a specific item, in this case this Pokemon, what we want to do is to provide that item in this case, and what we would do is to pass here array brackets I from index. And here we want to do something if this condition is met. What do we want to do? We want to have a new array, let's call it temp from temporary, that it's initialized as an empty array. And if we met a condition, every time an item met that condition, what we're going to do is we're going to push that item to the temporary array. And at the very end of the function, once we have gone through all the elements on the array, we are going to return that temporary array. And that would be all, because if you think about it, we start with an empty array. If nothing matches this predicate, this condition, we'll return an empty array, and if something matches that, we're going to include that item into this new array. In order to prove what I'm saying, I'm going to basically copy this here at the bottom, and I'm going to use this new function. This new function expects Pokédex as the first parameter, and as the second one, it expects this predicate. So now what can we expect? We can expect the same result as this filter, which is giving me an empty array. And that's what we get. And then if we look for something else, for example, this Pokemon of type fire, we will get an array with one single element. Perfect, we get exactly the same. And if we want to filter by something that returns multiple elements, we can use grass poison. That's perfect. We have reproduced the filter method by creating our own custom function, and we can see how it works. And this is how the filter method works. This is a very simple method, but a very powerful one. And now that we have been through all the different scenarios, and also we have been able to build our own version of it, I'm sure that you will be able to use it with confidence. But please, if you have any question, please leave them down below on the comment section. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and smash the like button. See you in the next one. Bye.